Hey y'all, welcome back to another day in the life of me. I am Muriel. I'm a registered nurse and I prefer long-term care. To my oldies but goodies, hey, how y'all doing? Well, thank you for coming back. To my new subscribers, thank y'all for hitting that subscribe button. I want to thank y'all for all the engagement in my comment section. Lord, y'all know I always be going on about this little part right here. Thank y'all for all the comments on old videos, new videos. Thank y'all for watching this video. On today, y'all, it's my off day before I do this 3-day work stretch. And let me tell you, I'm trying to. So this morning, y'all, I did not even long. I did about 18 minutes on my walk pad. I didn't burn much. There's hardly anything to talk about. I think I might have burned 50 calories. I walked, I think it was 0.7 miles. 0.7, so not even 4 miles. But y'all, I was like, ooh, I got to get back. I got to get this eating together. If you want to lose weight and you don't like that workout, you got to get your eating in check. You got to get your eating in check, period. But what I have learned is I can eat a little more when I'm working out with weights, because I don't know. Well, the science says that even after working out with weights, your body is still continuously burning more calories than if you just did like cardio. So and I guess it's because of the muscles contracting and expanding, contracting and expanding. That movement itself is burning calories. But yeah, y'all, so my plan for today, I'm currently heading to, y'all already know, to get me something to eat. Y'all already know where I'm going. I'm going to IHOP, y'all. I want to just sit down and eat. I want to look over my books for my business. I want to get some of that. Like, I really want to go somewhere to sit down where I can stay for a while and look over my paperwork. But I'm not a Starbucks girl, and that's really the type of place that you can go pull out your paperwork and just whatever. So my plan today is I'm going to go have me an omelet. I'm going to get the fruit this time, y'all. I'm going to get me I'm not going to lie to y'all. I want to get the veggie omelet, but I don't think I'm going to get the veggie omelet. I think I'm going to get my same protein, basically, omelet. And I'm going to definitely do the fruit on the side this time. I'm not even going to let the pancakes tempt me. And I'm going to get a water and a coffee, my go-to. And I'm going to sit down with my thoughts, y'all. Just get my thoughts together, look through some YouTube videos or whatever. I just want that little bit of time. And then I'm going to go to the library, and I'm going to remain the rest of the day at the library. And that's why I'm going to eat now, because I am actually hungry after getting on that walk pad, y'all, and doing that little walk and not having much to eat yesterday. I'm hungry. And so I want to go ahead and eat first, because I don't want to get to the library and be so distracted from being hungry that I can't do what I want to do at the library. So at the library, y'all, okay, so for those of you who are new, I have a trash business, and this video is not going to be totally about the trash business, so y'all can skip past this part if you like, don't want to hear about it. I have 3 different routes that we run, and I started using this app called Road Warrior. I think it's called Road Warrior, and I actually put one of my routes in there because it was an area, the newest route that we started was in an area that's real rural, real foreign to me. I've never really went there, even though it's near my hometown. It's in that same county. I never really ventured into that area before, and so I needed something to help me and my guy, because my guy, he runs that route solo, but he doesn't know that area either, because he barely ever went down there in his entire life. And so I found that app, and I saw that once I plugged in the addresses, it gave us a route, it gave us a time, the mileage, all that. And from that app, I was able to write out the route for him, give him the addresses and everything of where to go. And with that, he basically has perfected the route. Like he's been doing it now for going on 2 months, so he knows exactly where he goes. But every time we add a new address, it kind of rearranges the route, because it'll give you the most optimal time to do the route. So what I want to do is, because at this point now with me, been working so much in the last 6 months, and we've been getting clients and losing clients. I want to put all of my routes into that app. I want to rewrite my whole list of clients down until I have every client that we currently have, and I don't have the clients that we don't have before. I want to put everything on pen and paper, and I want to also plug everything into the route. And I don't want to do it on my phone, and I don't want to do it at home because home is distracting. So I'm going to spend the rest of my day off after I leave IHOP. It's going to be, not the rest of my day, I'm going to spend the majority of my time before my son gets home from school at the library inputting those addresses into the route in the app. I want to sit on their computer. I think they allow up to 2 hours, more longer if they're not busy. And I want to input all these addresses into the app, and I want to get, I want to do that, and I want to have all 3 routes in there. Another reason why I want to do this is because I have 2, my guy, he's a driver, and we have another, a friend of his who's a driver. The friend of his has his own route, but my guy doesn't know his friend's route, and his friend doesn't know my guy route. And so if anything ever happens and one of them, say, picks up the other person's route, they would be lost. They wouldn't know what they're doing because they wouldn't know where to go. And so I want to put this in here so that at any given time, if that happens, whoever the driver is that's doing it, they could pull up this app on their phone, and that other driver's route would be right there with all the addresses, and they can just follow it like that. Thank God for technology, y'all. And when I was researching the app that I'm using, I think it's like $15 a month, but that charge comes out of the business account because that is a business expense, that app. When I was researching it, I see they said Amazon delivery drivers, a lot of people use that app. And so far it's been very helpful with the route that I do have plugged in. So that's what I'm going to do. Before I go to IHOP though, I'm going to swing over here to my new bank, y'all, because the other day they were so busy and I didn't want to hold up any more of their time. I didn't get my debit card for my new business account that is accruing at 3.25 interest, y'all. Y'all just don't, I'm excited about that. Also, I'm going to show y'all my pay stub. I found out why my pay was so horrible, and I actually printed my pay stub off, so I'm going to show y'all that. But let me run into this bank real quick. Okay, y'all, I'm not going to show y'all what I made because, that's personal, but y'all see these deductions right here. This was for the benefits out of that paycheck. $524.25 for the benefits. Now, they told me that my benefits were going to be basically 2 months two pay periods worth deducted out of one paycheck because I only got paid once in February. And y'all know the state pays every, first and the 16th, I believe. I think that's how it runs. They took 2 out, so I'm assuming. Oh, and that Empower thing at top, that is my 401A. And I think that amount, I'm not sure. I think that amount will be cut in half as well when they take on my next paycheck. So every paycheck, I think approximately, what's that, 270 is half of 520 is what, like 270. So I think around 270 will come out every paycheck for benefits and 401k, which if it is, I honestly want a little bit more to go out for my 401a. I keep saying 401k, but 524. Then when we come down here, look at those taxes, y'all. $901 is how much was taken out of my check for taxes. Mind you, y'all see that additional amount there? Y'all remember I tell y'all whenever I'm working a job that's a 1040 or what do you call it, W1040 or whatever, I always send an additional amount to be taken out to offset any potential taxes that I may owe. And so on this one, I set it for an additional $100 to be taken out every paycheck. So $200 extra a month will be going towards any possible taxes that I may owe for the following year. So look, y'all, look how much was taken out on taxes. My check total that was taken out was $1,400 and something. Remember, I was saying my check was pitiful. This is why I claim head of household, but for some reason I wasn't claiming any dependents. None, y'all. So I went back and I added 2 dependents on my taxes for next year, because I do have 2 dependents, which I don't know how much of a credit that'll give me, but it'll do something. So the next paycheck will probably be horrible again, because the changes that I made won't take effect for 2 weeks. So my next paycheck's gonna be horrible as well, y'all. Yeah. Also, I talked to my manager because she reached out to me about my hours, because y'all know I said that we're supposed to stay at 8 o'clock every night. And I don't be staying, y'all. We be done by 7:20. I'm hitting the clock at 7:20. One of my days I saw left at 7:16, 7:30. Like, we be done. And we just supposed to sit around and wait till 8 o'clock. So I be leaving. And so my manager explained this to me yesterday, because I was like, what's the problem? That's less money y'all had to pay me. You know, that's less money. You know what I'm saying? So what's the problem? It didn't affect my supplement, because I still got my supplement on my paycheck. So what she explained to me was, our leave hours are based on us working 37.5 hours a week. They're giving me leave hours based on time that I didn't work, because I'm not staying till 8 o'clock. And so me leaving 45 minutes early, 30 minutes early, that time adds up. It ends up being, over a pay period, it ends up being about 4 hours, y'all. And so they're paying me based on, they're giving me leave hours based on hours I don't work. Now, me, myself, I'm like, just don't give me the leave hours. You know, I want to leave early. Don't give me the leave hours. But it doesn't work like that. So I have to start. She said I can do a leave slip to where they will pull leave time from me for the 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever I'm not working. My coworker told me I can do a leave without pay, though, so that they're pulling the leave time, but they're not. Well, I don't know, because if they're pulling the leave time, they're pulling the leave time, but I'm pulling it without pay. So I don't know. I'm just gonna stay at 8 o'clock, y'all. I'm just gonna nip that in the bud. I'm gonna stay at 8 o'clock. After I finished after I finished doing my meds and everything and checking to make sure I didn't have any misadministrations not signed and stuff like that, I had about 50 minutes until 8 o'clock. And so I started on a care plan that's actually due today, but I'm off today. And so I went ahead, and it took me from 7:15 until like, I think I clocked out at like 8:35 last night. So it took me, what's that, about 35? So it took me a little over an hour. It took me, about an hour and a half to complete that care plan last night, which was good, because the one I did before that took me about 4 hours, y'all. But this one took me about, which if your client doesn't have as much going on, their care plan won't be as extensive. So this client didn't have as much going on, but the client had enough there. It took me an hour and 45 minutes. Hour and 30 minutes, something like that, to complete their care plan. So that was done. So I told myself, you know what? Even when I'm in the bedroom and I don't have time, and also I have modules that I have to do that I haven't started. So my plan now, y'all, is to, I'm not going to say plan, because I have another care plan that's due on the 29th. Today is the 22nd. I have a care plan due in the next 7 days. So I'm going to actually start working on that care plan tomorrow when I work. And if I can complete that one tomorrow, then I'm going to start working on my modules the next day. So it'll be things there to keep me there until 8 o'clock at night, y'all. And then if I stay 8:30, say I stay 8:30 one night, that means the next night I can leave at 7:30, because I actually stayed over 30 minutes, you know. That's how I'm going to work it. If it's all about just getting hours for the leave time they're going to give me, that's how I'm going to do. But all this to say, I'm feeling a little better in the job. I'm feeling better. And so I might stick it out, y'all. I might stick it out. I haven't worked a holiday yet, so I don't know what it feels like to get holiday pay, but I am working this entire weekend, so I will see what it feels like to work the weekend and get all of my weekend pay. I was considering going to night shift, y'all, because they are really short on night shift. I was considering going to night shift, but y'all know how I feel about my bed. But I think eventually I'm probably going to have to go to night shift because everyone in my household is now looking for employment. And so for it to be more feasible for me and my younger son, with him going to school and stuff like that, I don't want to deny anybody in my household going to work because I need somebody to get him on the bus and off the bus. And even though I'm off 4 days a week, you know, it might clash with the schedules, and I know there's always someone going to be in my house overnight, always, that can be there with him. But there may not always be someone there in the daytime to get him to school and get him off the bus if everyone's working, depending on their schedule. So I may end up going to night shift. We'll see. If I do, that'll be somewhere, like if I end up going to night shift, it'll probably be something that happens when school is out, when he is no longer in school during the day, and someone definitely has to be there all day or whatever. Or I can just try to arrange my work schedule. We'll figure it out. We always worked it out. We worked it out for these last 19 years. My son is 19. We'll continue to work it out. Yeah, so now I'm heading to IHOP to get my omelet, y'all. But let's have a little bit of long-term care talk, y'all, because y'all know I like to throw some long-term care in there. So y'all, I was on this thread in Facebook. Y'all know I'm always somewhere in somebody's nursing business that don't have nothing to do with me, but when it's something talking about nursing, long-term care, and you know, I'm always in the mix, y'all. So I was on a Facebook thread, and I was on, you know, dropping my channel in there, telling them to subscribe to my channel, because it's not often that I see threads pertaining to long-term care. Y'all know me, long-term care is what I do. Even though for my new subscribers, I work in mental health now, but long-term care is where it's at for me. So their discussion was going on in the thread. Someone posted why they are an LPN and why they will stay an LPN and do not want to be an RN, which I have absolutely nothing to say about that, because that's your decision. You know, y'all know how I feel about remaining an LPN. There's nothing wrong. Like I purchased my home on my LPN. I lived 17 years of my life as an LPN. I had no issues. I never once looked at an RN like, oh, well, she doesn't do this and she need to do this. No, because I knew, in my mind, I always knew I was going to go back for my RN, but I never looked at an RN like, oh, well, they did say that. You know, the most I ever did was ask an RN, like, what school did you go to? Oh, how was it? Oh, you know, blah, 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 stuff like that. Like, I never looked, oh, well, she the RN, she need to do, you know, I was never that type of nurse. And it's probably because I always knew I was going to go back for my RN. This nurse that made this post, it's not given she doesn't like RNs. She was just giving the reasons why she will, you know, she has no interest in going back for her RN. She likes long-term care. I don't know if she ever worked in the hospital to say she don't like the hospital. But she stated the things that she does in long-term care and the things that, you know, that she's fine with. No problem, because y'all know my channel alone. I'm RN. I tried the hospital. What for me? Put me in long-term care. Put me back in long-term care. Where, you know, yeah, I didn't like the hospital. Long-term care is where it's at for me as well. My only thing is, the people in her comment thread, they were with the RN versus LPN, RN versus LPN, and I was like, oh my goodness, why? Why is it a versus? It should never be a versus. And a lot of the LPNs, their main thing was, I make more than the RNs. I make more than the RNs. I make more than the RNs. Yeah, in this day and time, LPNs can make more than the RNs, because if you're an agency LPN, you would definitely, well, if you're an agency LPN, 9 times out of 10, you're probably making more than a staff RN. But if you're an agency LPN, you're probably not making more than an agency RN. When you compare these rates and these pays and things like that, you got to compare them on an even playing field. And I'm putting this out here not to down any LPNs, because there are LPNs who have come in my comment section and was like, when I was saying like I take a job making 38 an hour or whatever, and they were like, oh, I'm making 40, or I'm making 45. You're an agency LPN. Yes, you're gonna make that. Or you're an LPN and you're in New York, or you're whatever. Yes, you're gonna make more than 38 an hour if I'm a staff RN. However, if I was an agency RN working your same job, if you're making 45, I'm going to make 50. It's just, I mean, I think a lot of people just, I think that's what people don't understand. That's why in one of my videos, when I talked about an LPN being an RN, if for nothing else, even if you don't want to change where you work, you don't want to change anything about your circumstances, your pay will increase once you get your RN, unless the place doesn't particularly need an RN and they be like, well, I can't pay you anymore. Like in assisted living, they don't need an RN. They don't need an RN. So if I work in assisted living and I'm an LPN and I get my RN, they possibly will say we can't increase your pay anymore. You know, you could continue to stay here for what you're getting paid, but we can't, you know, they possibly can say we can't increase your pay anymore. Even to be the DON in assisted living, you can be an LPN. You don't have to be an RN. So that's why I, you know, in certain circumstances, when you get your RN, it wouldn't benefit you if the place really doesn't need you. But if I'm in a long-term care facility and I'm an LPN and I'm staff and I'm making 32 an hour and I get my RN, my pay is automatically going to go up. Unless I'm an LPN in long-term care and I maxed out in pay. I didn't know that was a thing. I know that was a thing years ago. I found out that was a thing years ago, that you can max out on your pay as an LPN or an RN in a certain specialty, and then you start to get bonuses. Like I worked with a nurse who was in long-term care. She worked in long-term care. This was years ago. She had worked there for like 25 or 30 years. She had maxed out on her pay. So instead of getting any raises, they started giving her like bonuses to, you know, they started giving her bonuses because she maxed out on her pay. The max pay for LPN is not going to be the same, the max pay as for an RN. So if you're a brand new RN if you're an LPN, been working somewhere, and you get your RN and you're an LPN who maxed out on your pay for your brand new RN may be what your maxed out LPN pay is, but you can get more. If y'all understand what I'm saying, you'll end up getting more, because you'll end up getting raises. But yeah, the whole debate with the LPNs make more, I make more, I work and I make more than an RN. I work beside an RN who made less money than me. She probably was a staff RN and you were an agency LPN. But if that RN was agency and your agency, she's gonna make more than you. So I'm just saying this not to down anybody, but I don't want the misinformation that I saw in that post to just people just feel like that's what it. No, any job I worked as an LPN, when I got my RN, they gave me more money. Even though one job I quit, because even though they gave me more money, they tried to only give me an extra $1.50, because I had been an LPN for so many years that I was making a high level of pay, because I was an LPN and I was at that time, this is pre-pandemic, I was already making, which y'all might laugh at this now, but like I said, this 5 years ago, as an LPN with all the years that I had, I think I was already making like $28 an hour. As an LPN, $27, $28 an hour. So when I got my RN, they only tried to offer me 29 or either 30. They didn't want to give me a whole lot more in that same building I was working. So I was like, not gonna stay here. I know I can get more. I'm an RN. When I went to another facility the next day or the next month, I applied somewhere else, because y'all know we can get jobs just like that. I applied for another RN as a brand new RN. I mean, I had my licensure less than a week, and I went to an interview, and being that I was an RN, just brand new RN, I was offered $33.50 an hour for that as a brand new RN when I was 17 years of LPN and I was making like $27.20. So you get what I'm saying. You're always going to make more as an RN when the playing fields are even for both the RN and the LPN. You're always going to make more as an RN. Now, I just wanted to add that little bit there, because I hear a lot of, you know, in that thread, it was just, everyone was just saying, I make more than RN, I make more than RN, I make more than RN. And I was like, and you can't compare a staff RN to an agency LPN pay. You can only compare an it's kind of packed here, y'all. You can only compare a staff RN with a staff LPN pay. And the RN will, 9 times out of 10, the RN will be getting paid more. Unless, like I said, this is a seasoned LPN and this is a brand new RN coming in, they may kind of be on even playing fields because of all the years of experience that the LPN has. But within 1 year, y'all, that RN could go work somewhere else, and she would definitely, 6 months, I'll say, especially in long-term care, that RN can go somewhere else and she'll be making much more. I ain't gonna say much more, but probably at least $4 to $5 more an hour than that staff LPN. And even when you're working with the agency, the RN pay is always going to be more. What they offer the RN is always going to be more than what they offer the LPN. So if you're a staff, if you're agency LPN and that place is paying $35 an hour, they're going to pay the agency RN $40 to $42 an hour. Like, the RN is always going to be offered more money, y'all. So that's really if you know you want to stay in long-term care, that's really my #1 reason to get your RN, is to better your pay, is all I'm really trying to say. We are leaving IHOP and we are heading to the library. I'm not excited about doing this because it takes work, but it takes work, y'all. I'm gonna be there for, I'm saying I'll be here for a few hours, but I probably won't be. But anyway, I mean, if I am, it is what it is. It's good for the business, y'all. It's almost time for me to send invoices out again too, which is always a good day, because I have quite a few clients who, as soon as they hit that invoice, honey, they sending their money. It's like raining money that first like week and a half, 2 weeks after I send the invoice. And then after that, it's like a trickle. I still have clients who have not paid their February bill, and we're approaching the end of February. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 96% of them will have paid before the end of February. They will have paid their bill for February. I don't knock people for that, because I know how I am with my bills. I have past due. Sometimes it be damn on the 3rd month before I pay some bills, and being honest. It's like, if I know the company let me go that far, I take it that far. Ooh, honey, child, that truck scared me for a minute. Anyway, difference in my company though is we actually have people out there doing physical work for you. So I used to let it go, like, you didn't pay this month, okay, next month, okay, but that 3rd month we start service. Now I let it do, you don't pay this month, okay, the first week or the second week of the next month, the first week of the next month, your services are suspended, because this is people actually out here doing physical work for you. And I've had clients, and this is why I had to change it, I've had clients who have gone on that 3rd month and still didn't pay, and we had to take their can. So you just got 2 free months of service. So I don't let it go that far anymore. You get that month and you don't pay by the end of that month, that next service date of the next month, you're not getting service. It's just is what it is. We had to go do it like that. And we don't stop your account, you just don't get any service. And until you pay your past due, you won't have service. And if you don't pay it by the end of that next month, then your service is just discontinued altogether. Like, you won't be taking the can, you can't get any service. And in order to resume service, you have to pay your past due plus 2 months in advance. And so far, the people that we have had to take hands from, none of them have been willing to do that. Which, y'all, we don't charge much. Like, we charge, it can be anywhere from $30 to $32 a month, depending on whether you pay via invoice or other means of payment. It's a couple months before my birthday. We got a few more months before my birthday, y'all, and I've started looking at trips to take for my birthday. And so I reached out to a couple of my homegirls, and you know, we're in this group on Facebook. I'll add the group here, but we're in this group. Should I add the group, y'all? But anyway, we're in this group on Facebook where it's a travel agent, and she basically has pre-prepared trips and the amount you have to pay and stuff. A lot of them are your flights are included. A few of them don't have flights included, but I guess being that she is on this, she's in the southeast, she has a lot of where the flights leave out of places here in the southeast, like Savannah, Atlanta, Florida, stuff like that. So currently, around my birthday time, I'm looking at a trip to Panama, which passport is required. It is very inexpensive. Like, per person is less than $700. That's flight included. I'm also looking at, no, I think the one to Panama, the one to Panama, I think is less than $700. Also looking at a trip to St. Croix, Virgin Islands. That one, passport is not required. The resort is not all-inclusive though, so when it's not, and they do provide, I believe, breakfast. So when it's not an all-inclusive resort, you pay for a lot of you pay for your meals basically. And I think it just said breakfast was included, but you're gonna pay for your other meals, and you're gonna pay for your drinks as well. So to me, the Panama trip would be a better trip. They both are basically the same price. The cost, one doesn't require a passport, the other one does. One is all-inclusive, meaning your drinks and your food and everything is free. The other one isn't. To me, the all-inclusive one is the best bet to me, the one to Panama. All of us have our passports except for one of my friends. She doesn't have her passport, but I don't think she'll probably even be flying because she does have issues with clotting, blood clotting. Y'all know blood clotting is not really recommended for you to fly because of the high altitudes. There may have to be some pre-preparatory things you have to do if you're going to fly, but she has that issue, and so she's really unsure about flying. So she may not go to either of the trips, but she is the one who doesn't have a passport as well. But yeah, so I'm looking into that as a possible birthday destination. And then sometimes, my friends normally when they say they're going to go, they come through. But I'm also looking at some solo trips, y'all. I'm scared though. I'm scared, but they have she has a whole solo trip posted for the Dominican Republic. I just don't want to go alone. I don't have a problem being alone, but I just don't want to go alone. I'm just not, and I'm not good with navigating the airport, y'all. I don't know. Y'all would think I've only taken a trip twice where I had to fly, and I tried to really pay attention both times to what my friends, because they are very well versed on navigating the airport and stuff like that. They are very well versed on it. So I try to really pay close attention to how we navigated in the airport and what they said. Okay, well, we gotta do this, we gotta do. I really try, but I'm still confused on it all. I'm still confused on going to these different gates. I'm confused on this is going through the security. I'm just really confused on a lot of it, and so I don't know. That's my main reason for being scared, is navigating the airport. Going to the resort and going on a trip and being on a trip, I'm really not scared of, because I'm the type of girl, I don't even have to leave the resort. I go to trip, like I said, I think I said in the vlog before, I go to trips to relax. I really don't go to trips to do all the excursions. I really just want to go eat, drink, lay by the pool, get in the water, relax, go back to my room. Like, I don't have to leave an all-inclusive resort to do anything because they provide nightly entertainment. Like, I'm that type of person. So actually being there, I'm not scared of being there alone. It's navigating that airport, leaving and coming back. That's my only issue. But I am looking into the solo trip because I do want to take a trip for my birthday, y'all. I want to go. What's going on at this library, y'all? Look like a school is here. Oh my goodness. Y'all, just my luck. Just my luck. The Wi-Fi's down at the library, so I have to sit at a table. No Wi-Fi service. So I'm going to try to do this from my... Y'all, that part is extreme. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to try to do this from my phone, y'all. This is going to be a time. Okay, y'all. So I am about to leave the library. So when I went in there, the Wi-Fi was down, y'all, and it would happen to me. It would happen to me, of all people, that it would be down when I finally decide to come do this work. But I stayed anyway, y'all. I sat at one of their tables, and I just did everything by hand. I wrote down all of the clients by hand. their addresses, how they pay their payment. And one of the routes, the driver actually only supposed to have 25 stops. So I put his 25 stops in I did it off my phone, y'all. So I put his 25 stops in the app, and it came to his stop should take 2 hours and 22 minutes. I give it an extra 30 minutes, so 3 hours for his stops. But I know that he actually does more stops than that, because my guy, his stop just on Sundays is supposed to be 44 stops, but I know the other guy actually does some of the stops that my guy is supposed to do, because like he drives past the area to get rid of the trash. So he goes and he picks up about, I'm gonna say he takes about 5 of the people off my guy's stops. He does about 5 of the stops, but I don't know which 5, and I don't want to. But anyway, so that's the most I can do today, and that took me 2 hours, y'all. Because I had to go through all my messages. I had to go through my software, because a lot of the customers are in my software, but those are the customers that paid me an invoice. I have other customers who do not pay that way, and so their information is other places. And I had to go search through all those messages, just to get the complete addresses and names and stuff like that. So that was a 2-hour process. It's almost 3 o'clock, y'all. I was gonna go swing by my job, because the charge nurse I worked with yesterday, she gave me a sheet of paper. She said she gave it to me. It was a sheet of paper that we're supposed to put our time requests if we need any time off. But I remember telling her at the time that I didn't need any time off. She asked her what were the dates for, and they were dates through, I think, April 17th. And I remember telling her, I don't need any time off. And so I don't think, oh God, look at that ice cream, y'all. I don't think I actually got the paper from her. She might have left it, I'm not sure, but she can't find the paper she was messaging me asking me for. Last night she asked me, did I put it back, the paper back? And I told her I don't think I ever had the paper, because I told her the dates that I didn't need any time off. And I didn't even look at the paper. I don't know what it looks like, to be honest. I didn't even look at the paper. I was already in the bedroom, and I started doing what I need to do. So she may have left the paper. I don't remember, but she can't find it, and it's not in my car, so I don't know. So I was going to go up there and try to look for it, but I'm tired. I work tomorrow. I'll look tomorrow. She said she looked today and she don't see it anywhere. I don't know. So that's like I said, we work, especially when the charge nurse works, it's like 29 papers that she had, 29 to 30 papers that she dealing with at one time, and that's just at that time. Later on, it's like it just be so much papers everywhere. It's probably like 15 clipboards all around that desk. That's why I had to buy my own personal clipboard, which has a different like background to it, because I want to be able to keep up with just my stuff. And so if you sit a clipboard down somewhere, you gotta probably look through 10-15 clipboards, possibly before you find the one that belonged to you or that you were working with. So I purchased my old clipboard, so I always can go straight to it. But anyway, I'm heading home, y'all. I'm tired. I'm gonna try to get me like a 45-minute nap. I actually might just cook something for my son, so I don't have to. I'm not getting anything to take out for him. I might go ahead and cook him something. He'll be out the bus in the next like 45 minutes to an hour. So I will catch y'all on the next video. Bye.